MashaAllah, the holy month of Milad al-Nabi quickly approaching. Alhamdulillah, from Mawlana Shaykh's teachings, we're in the month of Safar, and holy month. Every month in the way of Allah is tremendous blessings, and the holy month of Safar from the way of Marifah has to do with the power of 18 and opening up the reality of 18 wa Bahrul Hayat. And these are the caves of safety in which the month of Muharram the believer is moving into the reality of a'udhu billah, seeking refuge in Allah from the accursed shaitan, and Allah's refuge is Sayyidina Muhammad. Means if you want to be safe from shaitan, then you must find yourself running towards the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad, and that is the cave of safety for every believer. The 18th reality, the 18th number in the holy month of Safar is Surah al-Kahf, from Ashab al-Kahf. So we're asking, Ya Rabbi, make us from Ashab al-Kahf and to enter into that reality of companionship where Allah is describing that they run from the evilness of shaitan, they run from all types of wickedness. And as much as we see wickedness on this earth, it's again a reminder, run towards the Divinely Presence. If at any time in your life you think you're running towards the material world, they're reminding for us it's only filled with wickedness. That turn yourself away from that and run towards the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, where we should be safe, our families should be safe. And so much of the salawat and durood is all about that safety, to be dressed by that, to be blessed by that, to be fragranced by that reality. As much as you run to Sayyidina Muhammad, as much as the light of Prophet is making the believer to be beautiful, to be fragrant with the sunshine, with the light that it lights and is the reality of the entire created universe. And when people are not understanding that reality and not understanding Holy Qur'an, that when we were talking to some people today about Milad al-Nabi and the way of the turuqs, the way of the Ahl al-Tasawwuf, where they call Sufi, which in reality it's Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And these were all the traditional scholars following the 4 acceptable madhabs, they say 5 to 6 madhabs. The 4 well-known madhabs means that your aqeedah of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, you have your madhab, and from your madhab you have to have a way of dhawq, a way of taste. That they say, okay, what's your aqeedah? This is my aqeedah. That what madhab, what school of jurisprudence are you following? We follow Imam Shafi'i. They say, okay, that now where are you getting your taste, your sweetness and your understanding that brings the flavor and the fragrance? And these were the turuqs, Naqshbandiya, Chishtiya, Qadiriyya, Shaharwardi. So many tariqas that are all from the lovers of Sayyidina Muhammad. So the newest thing is they come and they say, oh, is this a shirk? I say, shirk? That's a crazy word to use and a very dangerous word to use. That when a believer in this running to the cave, we have to remember that any time you deal with Sayyidina Muhammad he saves people. He's rahmatan lil alameen. The only interest of Sayyidina Muhammad is to grab somebody from shaitan and cover them, shield them and bring them to Rahman. And any time you're involved with shaitan, he wants to burn you. He wants to put you into a situation in which Allah's ghadab, Allah's anger come upon that servant. So it means then what's the biggest danger in being shirk with Allah? Where Prophet clarified in hadith Nabi that, I don't fear for my nation external shirk, I fear for them internal shirk. Why external shirk? Because there's not a Muslim on earth Somebody who has the Nurul Islam, not even Nurul Iman, just Nurul Islam could possibly say that there's somebody else creating. Allah is a creator, and anyone who says something that somebody else is creating, you say, okay, this clearly has no mind and he's lost his mind, and send him to the hospital. That's not a viable option for a believer to think that somebody could create. So means then where can you run into shirk with Allah? There's no way you could say there's another creator, nor does Allah take that comment serious. So the mushrik and the one who make partnership with Allah in which attribute? Not in the attribute of creation. So the only way that you can make a shirk with Allah which Prophet was stressing in this hadith is in judgment. That's when the believer enters into a big difficulty with Allah. So there's nobody coming and saying that there's two gods, there's nobody worshipping their shaykh and worshipping their teacher, there's nobody doing any of the external shirk from Islam, because Prophet's words are true. Said, I don't fear for my nation, because the aql and the level of their brain, the level of their heart, Allah guards them from that. But what shirk are they in danger is when they judge Allah's creation. Then you are now in big trouble with Allah. And that's where shaitan leads. The shaitan doesn't take a believer and say, oh come on, think of this statue as Allah. It's not something viable. It's like, please be quiet, that's ridiculous. So where shaitan whispers to the believer to get them to be burned is begin to judge Allah's creation. That's Allah's job. Means the only one who can judge somebody, because they're going out and giving flyers for Milad al-Nabi, and the people who have no understanding in their aqeedah, no understanding in Islam, the only thing that come from their mouth from the waswas of shaitan is, ya akhi, this is shirk. As soon as you said that, there's now a fire heading in your direction, because Allah's qadab, you got Allah's attention now. Said, my servant, you can't compete in creation with me, there's nothing that you can do to bother me. But when you judge my creation, only I'm the judge of this creation, because I only know what's in their heart. So even the history of Islam, the Sayyidina Umar was coming with an aggression against Prophet, and you were not allowed to judge, and at the door he turned into love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means that any time you don't know what secret Allah has within the heart of His believer, and at any time it blossoms you're going to be ashamed. You don't know the darajat of that person, their nearness to Allah, their nearness to Prophet. As a result, the turuqs are all the schools of manners. That's why these people are bi-adab, they are without adab. And when you don't have adab, shaitan comes and gets you to be burned. So he whispers into that person, the person says shirk, and now they are in the biggest shirk. Because Allah is going to ask that, how you said that? How you called that person outside of Islam for what? You are judging my creation? You don't know anything about that creation, you don't know anything about yourself. So the person who utters something like that from their mouth, they don't know their names. You have 7 names, you have a name in each paradise. From Ahl al-Tazkiyah and the people of haqqaiq, you have to take a path because their life is holy hadith. We said the other night, they dress you from holy hadith. They're walking hadith of Prophet. They don't need to repeat the book and the text. Anybody can read the book and the text, but they are actually walking examples of holy hadith where Prophet said, who knows himself will know his Lord. So then they come into your life, they've been dressed from that reality because they know themselves and they know their lordship. You have a rububiyyah in each paradise, you have a Lord that governs you in each paradise. You are to know those names. Forget about knowing those names, people don't even know the lords that govern them. If you think your Lord is from the heavens and you smoke, no. The Lord of tobacco is governing you, because it's an addiction, you can't get rid of it. So you can't say Allah is your Lord, tobacco is your Lord. If drinking is governing you, you can't say Allah is your Lord. the alcohol is your Lord. If anger is governing you, you can't say Allah is your Lord, your ghadab is your Lord. Means every attribute is governing the servant. So tazkiyah and the way that Prophet dressed awliyaullah is take them into this hadith. Walk into my hadith means take them on a path in which they know themselves. So as soon as you sit in the zikr, as soon as you sit in the company of the shaykh, every type of complaint is coming to you where you weren't complaining before. And many people lose everything, everything that they had, they lost it all. And they get angry, say, what kind of path is this? We said this many times, what kind of path is this? As soon as I met you people, everything was dropped from me, yeah? Because those maybe were blocking you from who you are. They say take an inventory, they have a program here for people who are in difficulty, 12 steps towards these realities. One of the most important and is in Islam is Muhasabah, is take account of yourself. Who do you think you are? I'm so such and such, I'm such big one. As soon as you open up, say, look at yourself. Is it really you or it's just a whole bunch of broken inventory that you think identifies you? And none of that is in value to Allah. What are you going to do in the grave? Like a pharaoh, you want to take everything into the grave with you? So they're walking hadith, they come and they say, don't put your importance on that. So many of these things have to be pruned, like a tree with too many branches, no fruit is growing. So they immediately come and begin to cut. Just the barakah of their presence, the barakah of their du'as, that, Ya Rabbi this one wants to reach, you're sending them on to that school, no problem. I'm going to cut everything that distracts them from the way. So many things will drop from the sight of the believer. So not to be a distraction. Again the hadith, once you lose all these distractions, they say, as soon as I'm sitting I'm getting very annoyed, I get angry quick, I shouldn't come because I get too angry. Well, that's the exact thing they were talking about. This nur has to begin to dress you, to dress you, to dress you. The first stages of that nur is the excitement, is happiness, because it's so different. But wait until you begin to dry. When you begin to dry from this light, it begins to burn like the moth to the fire. That nur begins to burn, you begin to get agitated at everything being said there. You get agitated by everybody sitting around you, you get agitated by the dhikr, you can't concentrate in the dhikr, you can't concentrate in your tafakkur, you can't concentrate in the salah. And exactly that's what they want. They want to agitate you in every possible direction and then begin to teach you, make your tafakkur, make your contemplation. Contemplating by the ocean on a nice sunny day is great, that's easy, my children can do that. But contemplate when everything is screaming, everything is upside down, everything is in chaos, every type of difficulty upon you, and your heart has to still be in their presence. At that time the heart is secure, it's solid, its love is it bond with the shaykh, it bond with Prophet it bonding with Allah. They pray and very little distraction comes. Any type of distraction in the room and still there's no distraction within their heart, there's a tranquility within their heart. This is the training. Only when they get through the garbage of dunya then they can begin to understand who they are, because all this garbage is there. If you think that garbage is you, that's completely false. Because you make identity, we make identities of ourselves, I'm so and so, I did like this, I served here, I'm like this, I'm like that. None of that will be accepted in Divinely Presence. Allah make it to be ghashiyah, to be like dust. When all of that is crushed, at that time then permission of Prophet and that energy come to awliyaullah and they give permission that bring that servant now up higher. That they've been trained through tafakkur and contemplation, they've been consistent in their practices. That every time you're agitated be consistent and never show on your face any characteristics. Always smiling. They beat you left, they beat you right, and you're always smiling. Allah who's better? The one who's happy on a broken path or making every type of emotion, every type of like a 2-year-old child wanting attention? So everything in the character will be trained. That character when it's so clean, so pure, at that time the khashf begin to open. When their heart begins to open, just glimpses of light into your reality, your soul's reality. And in each paradise you have a name and you have to be introduced to that name. That name has to support you and send you its reality, that Allah created our reality for this, and my job is to support you, and that's only through tafakkur, and that is the walking hadith. Who's going to open that hadith for people? Somebody just give it on Friday, tell you the hadith and then walk away? No, but when you accompany these pious people, they are walking hadith of Prophet. They are the walking mobile phones of Sayyidina Muhammad. Every technology that we got was not for us. This technology wasn't for you to watch pornography. This was for you to reach your marifah and to understand. If I can call India, Sayyidina Muhammad can't hear my ears. From paradise he can't hear what I'm saying right now to you. Well, this guy has it, Apple has the bitten apple on the back because this was from how we got thrown out of paradise. So I mean who has that power? All awliya have that power. Any of these awliyaullah can hear through our ears, they can see through our eyes, they can speak. If you in taslim, they can speak through your tongue. Their yad, they immediately can support your hands, they can support your feet, that your qadam always to be on Sirat al-Mustaqim. Who is Sirat al-Mustaqim? Is that a place? Is that supposed to be like a rope that we're walking on? Sirat al-Mustaqim is Sayyidina Muhammad. In Dalal al-Khairat, Sayyidina Sirat al-Mustaqim. If you're not on the feet of Prophet what Sirat is there? What Mustaqim is there if you're not on the feet of Sayyidina Muhammad? So means there are things that little kids know, and then there are things that these big awliyaullah teach us. Means that everything is based on Prophet. When Allah teach you external name, when He wants to teach you its reality, He teaches it in reference to Sayyidina Muhammad. The marifah of Allah, the marifah of realities is when Allah begin to open the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad. So Ar-Rahman on the external they say, oh this is the compassion of the Creator. Internal it is the secret of Sayyidina Muhammad, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. So every reality that Allah want to address is in reference to Prophet. So when these people come and say, this is shirk, they say, what are you talking about shirk? One, you're in big trouble with Allah. If you could get past that understanding and say that what aspect of following a shaykh and to be in the schools of tarbiyah is incorrect. When in this month Surah al-Kahf is describing the relationship between Nabi Musa and Sayyidina Khidr. That is our guidebook. When you want to know what Allah wants from you, you read the 18th surah in this month. The 18th surah in this month describes the relationship, the kalimullah, the Prophet of Allah that speaks to Allah. Could Allah be ordering him for shirk? Is it possible? No, don't mind people. Then he asked him, then he's Kalimullah speaks to Allah. He could ask any question he wants from Allah. Why then Allah said, go to one of my servants, go to one of them, not the servant of mine, one of my servants whom attained a rahmah and we taught him ilma laduni. Kalimullah who could ask the knowledge and receive the information directed by Allah, go to one of my servants. Is that shirk? So because they have no mind, there's no thinking. That Allah wants humility. Even you're talking to me, above every knower there's another knower. If I want you to dress by that knowledge, I want to see your humility. Be humble, go and seek one of my servants. So it's an accompanying a servant of Allah, seeking a servant of Allah is not a shirk. It's from Holy Qur'an, it's a command from Allah. It's an example for us. You want to be from Ashab al-Kahf. Why Allah put the qissa in Ashab al-Kahf, in the Surah al-Kahf? Because you want to be from the people of the heart, the people of the cave of safety. Then understand the relationship and the whole dialogue we won't go into, mashaAllah 10 years we're going into that on this month. The whole dialogue is that he comes to Sayyidina Khidr and says, I want to accompany. He says, you can't accompany me. How can you have patience with knowledge that you don't have? And gives the adab, he even giving the adab for these people. They come and say, oh we want to sit with you, can't sit with me, you have no patience. Why have no patience? Because you don't know anything. Everything I say you're going to object. And so he gave the rules, he said, even you come with me don't talk. You have no permission to ask a question until I give you a permission to talk. He even gave the adab. So they don't even like our adab, they say, why you can't ask the shaykh question? Because Allah says in Qur'an, for Kalimullah to one of the servants under Ummat Muhammad because he wanted the highest of realities. These are from Rijalullah under the banner of Sayyidina Muhammad. He want from the highest reality, Allah for that reality you have to have a supreme adab. And he came quickly said the adab, you want to accompany, don't talk, don't ask a question. Because question coming from your mind and from the sickness of your mind, this is a reality that's going to be deposited into your heart. With good manners and good character you shut your mind. That's why the zikr of every tariqah is la ilaha illallah. Means the first thing you're doing as soon as you come to the turuqs is you're bringing your oceans of tawheed. That, Ya Rabbi, this light that coming in with your nafas, your breath, you bring that light, the holy breath and nafas al-Rahmah in and move the light to your head. And this becomes lah. That head don't use it. This power of lam alif hit onto your head, shut your head down. Your head is not the faculty that's going to find Allah. Your head is only going to be in the hands of shaitan. The way to God is not through the head, the way to the devil is through the head. He will pirate the head and begin to give them hallucinations, imaginations like TV. You think he can do it Hollywood? He can do it into your room. All they do is a jinn come and touch your head and immediately you have visions, you have dreams, you have everything. Because it's coming from here. This is a box that anybody can pirate the box. Now all the hackers from outside they can pirate your television and they can watch you in your room. If they can do that, imagine what the jinn can do. They can hack your head from a distance, immediately send a signal and pirate every vision that you think you're seeing through your head. So, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, nothing but Allah into the heart. At that time that ocean of tawheed begin to dress onto the servant that you trust in nothing but Allah, that Allah's hand is in everything. You got fired, it's in Allah's hand. You got a job, it's in Allah's hand. Every zalam that comes into this earth, nothing can happen to you that not written by Allah. No rizq can come to you that not written by Allah. No rizq can be taken away from you that not written by Allah. So the believer's just waiting for, Ya Rabbi, when you going to write it? It's all in Allah's hands. So through sabr and through their zikr, through their practices, they patiently await what Allah want to write for them. When they understood that sabr, that reality begin to dress upon them, begin to dress upon them. So they teach that first zikr of la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah and bring the servant into the oceans of tawheed. With that reality they're beginning to open all of these good characteristics. There's no shirk, all of that is from the bad characteristics Allah describing in this holy month how to accompany that reality, how to be dressed by that reality. Only the schools of good character can bring that reality because it's the heart. The heart has to be based on muhabbat, has to be like a flower that has a sense of love, and as much as it loves it's taking in the sun, it's taking in the rays. As much as that heart closes, becomes angered, becomes filled with bad character, none of those rays can reach to the heart to make it to blossom. We pray in this holy month that Allah dress us upon man huwa Alim al-Hakim, that these are from the lights that Allah dressed the soul of Sayyidina Muhammad 12 hijabs, that the light of Nur Muhammadi was dressed by 12 hijabs, and there's no time for Allah mean continuous dress. Even you talk about this for 10 years, 100 years, every day is a different tajalli. Means what Allah dressed on Muharram, and then now the second hijab, subhana man huwa alimul hakim. The sifat of alimul hakim is in this month of Safar. Hence ashab al-Kahf. If you run to the heart of Prophet what Allah going to dress you? From the tajalli He's dressing upon the heart of Prophet subhana man huwa alimul hakim. That knowledge and hikmah begin to dress into the heart of the servant. Al-Fattah al-Rahmah, 18th name of Allah Al-Fattah, I'm the opener. But the Fattah doesn't come without the name of Prophet. Ismullah never opens for creation unless it's through the door of Sayyidina Muhammad. Tanzila means the movement from Allah is always with tawheed. It's always Allah, atiya Rasul wa ulul amri minkum. Means you cannot take the power and izzah of Allah, He's not going to send it upon all creation, they would be burnt. He sends izzah, every ismullah dresses Prophet. Then with the key of mentioning Sayyidina Muhammad's name, it began to dress the ulul am, and the ulul am out to all of creation. So in this month al-Fattah, Ya Rabbi al-Fattah, and isma 18th name of Sayyidina Muhammad Nabiyur Rahmah. So Fattah al-Rahmah, Ya Rabbi Ya Fattah al-Rahmah, hence Surah al-Kahf. You want the rahmah in this month, run into that cave. You want the adab of how to accompany, then read Surah al-Kahf, and it gives us the adab of how to accompany awliyaullah and the people of the turuqs inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa basir Surat al-Fatiha.
Sayyidina Nabi, Sayyidina Nabi, Sayyidina Nabi, Sayyidina Nabi.